Hello.
Hello. Double feature. Yes. Very bad.
Enough.
Global impression. Yes. Well, sort of like a.
We saw The Fate of the Furious, aka The Fast and Furious 8.
As well as the Power Rangers movie, but we'll get to that one after another video.
Yes.
So. Yeah, it's a movie that has Vin Diesel, The Rock, and Jason Statham in it, so it is a movie that has Vin Diesel, The Rock, and Jason Statham in it.
And to the surprise of no one, their fate is to stay exactly the same and make more movies.
Except for, now the Vin Diesel character, Dominic
Yes.
Toretto, as they like to repeat it so many times in the movie, has a baby.
Yes.
A baby that has some disturbing, almost sense of reality that he can make expressions and thumbs up and stuff even though he's a baby.
But we have to start all the way at the start of the movie.
Yes. Which starts in Cuba and,
Which you couldn't tell by the giant Havana Cuba painted in the water.
Yeah.
Or
CGI'd.
or the music, the probably Spanish music playing in the background.
The totally not racist sounding music. Anyway,
and then we cut to an ass shot of almost every woman in Cuba.
Yeah, because PG-13, I guess.
It gotta make the most out of your rating.
Yeah.
We get butt shots, we get tit shots before we even are introduced to Dominic and his girlfriend.
Yes, and then apparently, a friend of Dominic or a cousin or whatever.
He said cousin.
Yeah, cousin is like owes a debt or something to some Cuban kind of
car. I guess he's an illegal car dealer.
Yeah,
technically. So Dom decides they're gonna race. Dom's gonna race in his cousin's really crappy car, which, as they said, is the slowest car on the island.
But of course, being a Fast and Furious movie, he
pimps their ride.
Well, I mean, not so much pimps the ride as Mythbusters the ride.
He builds nitrous into it. He removes everything that's not an integral part of the car.
Like he Mythbustered it.
Yes.
I literally said that in the theater. He Mythbustered it.
I don't remember that, but I probably
I seem to recall that he Mythbustered it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So then they start racing, and
of course the Cuban guy, since he's a criminal, he plays dirty. Has some of his cronies try to slow Dominic down, but
Dom does that too because he has his girlfriend do that with the motorcycle as well. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
it might have been 4 of his cronies, or it might have been two of the guy's cronies and 2 of Dom's. I
don't know.
It wasn't that obvious. But
yeah, and it's been a while since we saw it, a few weeks.
But then Dom obviously activates the nitrous, and as it starts to fail, it's about to explode.
Yeah, so then
he spins the car around and goes past the guy.
Yeah,
I love that scenario of the guy looking at the guy seeing it pass. It was like, yo. I just imagine him being like,
and of course after he passed the finish line, because it's about to explode, he just sort of jumps right out the door, and then it just goes
into the water,
into the river, and then boom.
Yeah, so they're playing for the keys to the bad guy's car.
Well, no, not even. He only offered that at the end. I don't know, maybe, but.
And Dom's like, no, I have your honor. Or whatever.
Respect, like the Cuban guy is like, you have my respect and my car. Is like, and Dom's like, your respect is good enough. Keep your car.
And then Dom gives his car, because we had a shot of Dom and his girlfriend working on his car earlier.
Yeah,
he decides to give his car to his cousin.
Yeah.
And then they cut to basically him in a hotel. Them. Love making.
Yes.
Basically, the PGest version of that.
Yeah, and of course, hinting at, you ever thought about having a kid, and then of course and then immediately after that we are introduced
to the main villain of the movie,
who I'm just going to say right now, if unintentionally, has somehow done the best Alice Cridge impression from someone not deliberately trying to be a Borg queen I've ever seen. I mean, she obviously like it mustn't have been intentional, but every single frame that scene she was on screen is like just her movements, her inflections, the voice she was doing, the way she delivered her lines. I'm thinking, is she trying to do a Border Queen impression? I mean, like what?
But then she shows Dom a video on a phone, which we don't get to see
until until the third act,
yeah,
basically.
Which is enough for her to convince him to work for her.
Yeah, for temporarily.
And then we cut right to The Rock, who's this was one of the scenes they showed for the commercials of him.
It was
telling people
very comedically.
Like him saying, "I picked you because you're the best in
Yeah,
this world."
it's sort of hinting at that he's like sort of like giving a pep talk to like a
like the rest of his team from the movies.
Well, or not just that, but like a military platoon or whatever. But
and
but
cuts
then it's
to his daughter's soccer game.
Yeah,
and they start doing a haka.
And then the other team, the pink team, is like I don't want to play anymore.
And they're the other team is just a bunch of blonde white girls, pretty
in
much.
pink outfits.
Yeah, and they're looking at the Polynesian war and like, nope. And then Mr. Nowhere comes out of nowhere.
No, that wasn't Mr. Nobody. That was just,
that was
not that one. No.
Oh right, yeah. No,
this is just a generic government guy that is like
telling me
with a mustache,
telling them that somebody in Russia stole a thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this part happened in Russia. It might have, but it was the last scene in the movie was in Russia.
Yeah, but this was I'm pretty sure this was in.
No, it was in Germany.
Huh.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, it was.
Who can tell the difference?
It was electromagnetic pulse thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. In Germany. Yeah, they had to. Because like some German terrorists or whatever had gotten a hold of it, so they needed to get it back and whatnot.
Yeah, so he calls Dom and they do the mission. And then at the end of that mission, as they're getting away, Dom decides to betray everyone and, well, more specifically, Hobbs, The Rock's character.
And just sort of
swerve into him, knocking him off the road and forcing him to get caught and thrown in jail. Which
didn't last long because
prison break.
Because of nobody and
but then Dom drives away with the EMP to a plane where we find out the main villain,
the Border Queen lady,
Cypher. She is holding apparently his other love interest in the movie.
Yeah.
Because in Fast 6, his current girlfriend was presumed missing, and she was basically brainwashed as the enemy. So I'm guessing he decided to have. Hey, I'll just have sex with a random woman before I find my girlfriend again. Mm-hmm. They didn't give any better explanation than that.
Yeah. Anyway, but
we find out she had a child.
Yeah.
And Cypher has captured her and is holding her as ransom.
CGI kind of makes facial expressions, even though he's like 1-year-old child or younger.
But yeah, so Cypher has him steal something else, codes from a Russian...
Yeah, nuclear codes, because, action movie.
Yeah.
Every action movie franchise ever has to do that at least once.
So I think my biggest issue, this maybe just be the cinema sins, but there's a scene before what I want to talk about, but there's a scene where the team, there's a prison break we've talked about. There's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
Where Hobbs and Jason Statham are standing across the cell hallway from each other, and they start having a banter because Jason Statham appeared at the end of Fast 6, and probably the villain of Fast 7.
I saw part of Fast 7. He was.
Yeah.
Well, so at least a henchman.
Yeah, they start having an America versus Britain argument, and then the prison break because of Mr. Nobody. Mm-hmm. So then everyone starts fighting.
Played by Peter Quill's dad.
Right. But like The Rock starts Hobbs starts beating up people. Jason Statham starts beating up people.
Well, the thing is, at first Hobbs is like, no, I want to get out of this the proper way, and his friend is like, fuck it.
Yeah, because the cops back him into a cell and he's doing nothing. He's like,
but
doing nothing.
Jason Statham was the one that took advantage of it. Like took a cop's taser and just shorted out the light above his cell, which how because action movie freed open every single cell in the place. I don't think real prisons are designed that way.
And then my favorite line from Hobbs, he's fighting through people and the cops are shooting him. He's like, rubber bullets, that was the worst. And he's like, rubber bullets, that was the worst mistake you could have made. And then starts beating up the cops or the security guards.
Yeah.
So then they get out and they're having a meeting with like Ludacris, Tay Diggs. There's a chick with an afro that I don't recognize because I assume she was from probably a movie I didn't watch.
Yeah.
Jason Statham shows up, and Mr. Nobody has a little bitchy second
in command.
Who's trying
an intern.
Yeah. Who was threatening Hobbs earlier before he went in the prison to try and join them because Mr. Nobody wanted him to join, but the guy was basically saying the law. He was like, if you join us, you'll be branded a criminal. Blah, blah, blah. And The Rock... I keep calling him The Rock because he's Hobbs. But Hobbs puts him against the wall and he's getting ready to choke him. But,
no. The part that made him do that was the little nobody...
thing about his daughter.
Something about his daughter. It's like, an action movie, you threaten someone's daughter... Not good combination.
No. So they're all in one room. Dom's girlfriend, I think her name was Lenny. I'm not 100% sure. Michelle Rodriguez's character. And they're all Ludacris, they're all in one room, and they're all looking for Dom. And they start using the God's Eye,
which is basically the
spy holy grail.
Well, yeah, it's basically probably what the government is using now.
Yes.
It's the NCIS or whatever.
And so they can't track him with that because Cypher's an expert hacker.
Yeah.
Who's throwing their signal all over the place.
But then the nerdy Donatello addition to the team,
they reverse the process, whatever.
Reverse the polarity of the neutron flow because
they do something that helps them like eliminate each negative signal. And it pings where they are.
And the Mr. Nova is like,
this is action movie cliche number whatever. You end up finding the villain
right here, and then boom, the bad guy and Dom are just there,
Cypher and
blowing stuff up like just.
They steal God's Eye, and then just walk away. And then they collect themselves all together. The Rock and Jason Statham continue to have banter like they want to beat each other up. And then Jason Statham uses something to find that Dom's in New York.
Yeah, no, he was
typing on a computer.
It was something that like the global surveillance whatever has blind spots in it, right. like the satellites, I guess. Whenever there isn't a satellite directly over a spot, it creates a blind spot.
Yeah, which is what Cypher's using to get around undetected.
Yeah.
So then, Mr. Nobody says, let's go to the Big Apple. And they cut to New York, and this was the thing I was talking about, the biggest issue. It paints New York right in the water, which is completely redundant by the fact that he just said, let's go to New York. It's like, New York, as opposed to New York where? I don't know. But I swear I've watched too many cinema sins.
Yeah, me too, but yeah.
But Dom is in the process of stealing the nuclear codes.
Which are in the hands of some...
Russian defense minister.
Yeah, or like ambassador or something, and then... So basically, Cypher, what she does is, she hacks into every single car in the city that has a computer chip in it that, and... Basically, it creates just this river of cars that just swarm around and like it.
And before that, at this point, I wasn't sure if Dom was gonna be like stay bad guy, like betray them. But there's a scene where he pretends like his car is broken.
Yeah.
Like he flips a switch to deactivate something. So in the time he goes to fix it, he talks to apparently
Jason Statham's character's mother.
I guess she's in the British equivalent of the CIA, I assume.
That would be MI6.
I assume she's probably a member of MI6. But in that short amount of time, he figures out a plan to have Jason Statham save his son while he's out doing other stuff.
And so spoilers, the Jason Statham character, even though they showed him getting shot twice, he didn't die. He just, I guess, I figured he either Dom deliberately aimed for non-lethal spots because I could see like that, meaning he hit the shoulders, or he was wearing a bulletproof vest. But it showed a cutscene later where he was being wheeled into an ambulance,
and they stabbed him with science juices.
I would imagine that would be adrenaline.
Yeah, but
which actually exists.
Yes, I know, but I just wanted science juices. Inject him with some science. It's a Dragon Ball Abridged joke. Inject this man with some science.
Of course. Don't you know anything about science?
Delicious science. But
anyway, let's get. We're almost.
They almost catch Don in that scenario before he shoots Jason Statham.
Yeah, like.
And then his girlfriend steals the launch codes.
Yeah.
And this is hilarious. They hired an actor who's done ads for Hotels.com. And it wasn't Hotels.com. It was a hotel. The only time I had ever seen that actor, the guy with the red beard, was in like an advertisement for.
He was like the
stereotypical henchman.
Yeah, the stereotypical asshole henchman of the movie that is just there for the hero to kill or beat the shit out of.
Yeah, so he corners her who has the launch codes, and is going to kill her, but Dom's like, no, I'll just take the launch codes anyway and go.
Yeah, because of that,
he doesn't threaten to shoot her, but she wants him to shoot her. She wants Dom to shoot her just to convince her that.
No. It's more that
she told him to shoot her, and he couldn't.
No, that is true, but for a different reason. Because she still had faith in him, and she knew that he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because she outright said that you love me, so you won't shoot me.
Yeah, it's kind of a reverse of as in Fast 6. He had faith in her that she was who he said she was, even though she had no memory of who she was. So then, and then we go to Russia.
Well, no. Before that, there's the big.
There's the scene where he's talking to Cypher, and she has asshole henchman kill his love interest,
former love interest, not the current girlfriend.
Just because, and she goes on this rant about fate and making choices,
and like compassion is a weakness, sort of thing, like that basic textbook psychopathy psychology, right? Basically, like the kind of stuff that you'd see in a textbook about psychology, about psychopathy. So
at some point Don he was wearing a cross pendant, and at some point he hung it on top of the wall.
Apparently it was a tracking device and a camera. So that for Jason Statham character to use. And then they go to Russia because she has nuclear launch codes.
And what she wants, I remember she said she wants to show the world governments that there is punishment. You can't get away with just doing whatever you want.
Basically, take over the world. Of course. That's basically what I got out of that. It's just like she just wants to take over the world. But
the launch codes have us in a submarine.
In Russia, that's owned by sort of Russian separatists. So they
made a joke
that's not actually technically Russia because it's a little.
The separatists kicked the Russians out, basically.
And then.
So then we go to Russia, and we get some random Russian town painted into the snow.
Yeah. So and then. They have to get hack into the submarine so that she can't launch the missile. They have to basically take the launch control chip out, and of course Cypher.
Of course, it's in Russian, so they can't understand it.
Not just that, but Cypher is constantly ahead of them, like locking all the doors and stuff, so that the two idiots are the only ones that are stuck in the room.
Yeah. Nobody Junior and Tay digs.
Yeah. So then, eventually, they do figure it out and get the chip out of there, so of course
and there was also they had eventually in New York they set up a base of operations with tons of cars.
Well,
with and a tank, and freaking Taye Diggs wants the bright orange Ferrari, the $1 million show car.
Which, of course, in the final battle is the first car to get taken out.
Because it's a Ferrari in the snow.
Yeah.
You're a pink shirt in the middle of a metal band. In the middle of a metal concert with a bunch of black shirts around you.
Yeah, so they stop her from being able to launch the missiles, but
and then
she still has control of the submarine itself, so she tries to put it into the water so she can figure out how to reactivate it later, so then they have to chase the thing down.
Yeah, and there's also the asshole henchman and Dom in one area, and the asshole has a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And he's telling Dom to pick the target because he's going to start picking off his team.
And he says, so he's going to take the wife or girlfriend. Yeah, it was wife actually. They'd been, because remember in the beginning they were honeymoon. So the wife.
But also Jason, there's a phone that Dom's staring at that he's waiting for a call, which is from Jason Statham for when he recovers the baby. So at that point Dom hits he moves his car so the sniper rifle misses, and then he decides to beat the crap out of the asshole henchman. I'm pretty sure he killed him. I don't know if they said anything about he didn't kill him.
Yeah.
But before that point, I was like, yeah, Dom's he's not evil. Like, he just...
Yeah, obviously. Well, I knew right from the get-go that it was a classic, I have your such and such loved one scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, these movies don't normally have much of a plot, and their plots are fairly generic.
Basically, the bread and butter is...
the action.
Yeah, like
all the stunts.
Over the top. You know what Michael Bay should be doing, basically.
Because they're trying to get away to prevent her, they're trying to close the gates to the water.
So that she can't get away with the submarine and reactivate it.
And obviously there's a bunch of the Russian separatists chasing them, trying to shoot them.
So it's free for all.
And the Ferrari is the first one to go.
Yeah, obviously. And then, because...
Although it's kind of funny to see him sliding on the car door and hitting people with it.
Yeah, because not just that, but the car went into the icy water, so they had to pull him out by the door, and it's like... Ah!
Yeah, because he's not really the strongest character in any of these movies. He's more comic support than actual kick-ass.
He's the 11th most dangerous man.
Yeah, because they got put on a list, and it's like 3, 5, 6, 7, 11. And he's like, seriously? She beat me out?
Yeah, but
But then The Rock decides to have a look at my muscles scene. Because
the submarine launched like a torpedo, like a regular torpedo. Not nuclear one.
Yeah, he gets out of the car door, grabs the handle, which is randomly there,
goes, whoop, and tosses it under one of the enemy cars, and because action movie.
And then they launch heat-seeking missiles on Dom, because at this point Dom's leading the pack, which was a pretty feel-good scene, I found.
So he turns on like this burner thing at the back of his engine. Yeah,
the nitrous.
Light enough. So it goes only after him. Tells the rest of them to break off. Then he does a 180 U-turn and
jumps over a hill as the heat seekers plow into the submarine.
Yeah, because the Cypher had made the submarine come up to the surface so it could start firing rockets at them, like just regular plain rockets. But and at this point, Jason Statham has the baby. He's been killing everyone on the plane. Yeah, and of course the baby always, making silly CGI facial expressions.
And basically the last person he walks up to him and he's like, "Is that?" He points at the baby. He's like, "That you or him?" And he walks by. He's like, "It's him." Basically saying the guard crapped his pants.
The face is on the baby. I like.
And then he walks up to Cypher with a gun because he'd broken his brother out of wherever, because apparently his brother I think was in 6 as a henchman.
Yeah.
So his brother's at the helm of the plane telling the pilot to land, and he points a gun at Cypher, and Cypher starts randomly blabbering, and then she's like, "Only one of us." has a parachute and then jumps.
Yeah, because Jason Statham was out of bullets at that point. You know, another classic action movie cliche, out of bullets.
Yeah.
Um,
So they land the plane, and then they cut to probably New York.
yeah, on.
They didn't actually specify where this time. I don't think.
I think it was New York, and they were just.
And they were on a rooftop,
You know, a garden rooftop.
which is a generic Fast and the Furious scene. Because at the end of almost every movie, they're in some place. Because like at Fast 6, they were on ground level.
Yeah.
In a backyard or something.
Yeah, and they're so here they're just sort of having like a barbecue on like a
Basically the end of every single Fast and the Furious movie that I've seen.
and
Jason Statham brings up the baby to Dom, and because at this point Dom's lover had only given the baby a middle name, so he passes off the baby to Dom, and Dom holds him, and he gives him Paul Walker's character's name,
Brian,
because Paul Walker died.
yeah,
And he's like, Brian, and shows him to his wife, and then and at the end of every movie they have a prayer.
yeah.
So they have a prayer with Nobody Jr. because he'd actually proven himself a little.
Yeah, I think they're implying that he's sort of going to be the new member of the team.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Jeremy Renner became a member of the Mission Impossible movies. How he
Right.
just became a regular in the later movies. Something kind of like that.
Right. And then the movie ends in that fade to black.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's enjoyable. But
yeah, it's like I say,
it's a million cliches rolled into fancy car chases.
and in a decent way. It's basically, I'd like to describe it as, like I said at the beginning, it is a movie with The Rock, Vin Diesel, and Jason Statham in it. So you're gonna get a movie with The Rock, Vin Diesel, and Jason Statham in it.
Yes.
It had a very Expendables vibe to it, actually. Just without as many, aging action stars.
Right. Yeah.
And a few, just not as many.
Yeah. The Rock's always good for a solid action movie.
Just rock solid.
Yeah. Just because of the way, just because.
A rock solid action movie.
Yes. That should have been the tagline.
Yeah. It's rock solid.
Yeah, but I remember a little bit before the movie premiered, I saw stories that were saying there were issues between Vin Diesel and The Rock. Like, I assume it was just to set up the story, just because of the storyline in the movie, but apparently they weren't going to red carpets together and.
Well, sometimes that happens. Actors have disagreements with each other. It's just like how friends do in real life, right? Sometimes that happens.
It felt all too similar to the plot of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it happens sometimes. There's nothing abnormal about that.
It's like, I'm not going to red carpet with you.
We are not Groot.
I was going to say Groot's right over there. I was going to say go get Groot, but he's all the way behind the camera.
I have Groot.
Yay.
So see you in the next video, where we will talk about the Power Rangers movie, which we just saw today.
Yay!